Bio-age reversal number 2, a plant-based diet and exercise. Eat healthy, whole, organic, nutrient-dense, plant-sourced food. It is a myth that vegans do not obtain enough protein. A plant-sourced diet has all the same protein levels and amino acid building blocks that a meat-based diet has, but without the saturated fats, free radicals, and carcinogens present in animal products. Whereas meat causes heart disease, blood flow restrictive ED, arteriosclerosis, and cancer, plants contain polyphenols and antioxidants which protect and prevent us from developing these major diseases. A plant-sourced diet has been scientifically shown to protect us from the 15 leading causes of death in the world and to increase our lifespan by 10 years, making it a critical tool in bio-age reversal. I have been vegan for 23 years. My blood tests reveal healthy levels of protein and cholesterol. The strongest, fastest, and greatest athletes in the world are vegan and are finding much better success in winning championships and breaking records with a plant-sourced diet. The meat industry has performed an excellent marketing campaign, but their claims simply are not supported by the science. We are mere consumers, parroting the marketing mantras of the meat, egg, and dairy industries. We employ societal and cultural peer pressure on those who pose a threat to these persuasive corporate conglomerates and their revolving doors of animal consumption, disease, pharmaceutical drugs, and hospitals. Studies show that eating meat has both immediate and long-term negative effects on erections. The saturated fat, free radicals, and carcinogens, which immediately enter the bloodstream after a meat-based meal, impairs optimal endothelial function within our blood vessels. It is our endothelial layer which is responsible for producing healthy levels of nitric oxide needed for erections in men and arousal in women. I highly recommend for your success to switch to an intelligent plant-sourced diet and watch the documentary The Game Changers. Studies also show animal-based foods decrease testosterone and increase estrogen in men. The myth that animal-based foods make for strong, powerful, hard, and masculine men is simply not true. On the contrary, the regular consumption of animal-based foods makes men soft, impotent, and sport breasts. Give your body the nutrients it is crying out for, such as organic fruits, vegetables, sprouted whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, juices, and superfoods. Stop eating dairy products, refined flours, and sugar. It takes a few weeks after giving up old, unhealthy eating habits for your cultural conditioning and taste buds to transform. I promise you, as your body and brain feels the increased energy, clarity, and light from eating healthy food, you will crave whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, vegetables, fruits, juices, and superfoods. New neural pathways will form around your new eating lifestyle. The old neural pathways formed around unhealthy eating habits will die out. The World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, and the Center for Disease Control have all declared healthy diet and exercise to be the true pathway for increasing our lifespan and preventing the onslaught of non-communicable diseases ravaging Western culture. Our brains are incredibly flexible once we consistently evoke change from within. This applies to our health, diet, exercise, and the new gorgeous shape of our body. I want you to utilize the plasticity of your brain to create an entirely new lifestyle. I want you to totally transform yourself, not just make little strides. I transformed my body into one with little to no fat. I can feel and see every strong muscle from my chest to my lingam. I used my determination and willpower to realize my vision for my body. I want you to rediscover what every muscle from your chest to your lingam should look and feel like in its ideal state, free of fat covering. Do not give up. Be consistent every day, no matter what distraction comes up. Make it your priority in life. What appears as an enormous distance between where you are right now and the ideal image you hold for yourself is not as far as you think. Bioage reversal number 3, intermittent fasting. When you look around, you see a society plagued by an epidemic of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular, autoimmune, and neurodegenerative diseases. What do they all have in common? They all arise from our unhealthy behavioral choices we make every single day. They are all metabolic in origin, despite the smoke screens that Western mainstream medicine and the pharmaceutical industry feebly attempt to erect. What we choose to eat, how much we choose to eat, and how often we choose to eat, in combination with how much we choose to exercise or not, is the single most powerful determining factor in disease prevention, reversal, and true healing. The World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, and the Center for Disease Control have been warning for decades that the massive explosion of non-communicable diseases and deaths are entirely preventable with a healthy diet and exercise regime. Despite the positive and empowering scientific advice and warning calls of the top medical leaders in the world, Western corporations have entirely ignored their pleas, choosing instead to continue an aggressive and persuasive marketing campaign on the innocent and naive masses, while conscripting an army of ignorant, receptive, and disempowered consumers. When you look at the dysfunctions and diseases plaguing Western culture, they are almost entirely due to dietary habits which are too high in refined wheat flours, processed foods, sugar, saturated fats from dairy, and protein from meat. Actually, too much food and protein is the elephant in the room nobody is talking about. The myths of Western culture are perpetuating diseases, comorbidities, and deaths at appalling rates. There are so many myths which simply do not serve our best health interests, nor do they give us the flexibility to choose how we want our bodies to look and feel. This is why it is so critical to always think for yourself, rather than take the words of others without question. Question everything you put into your mouth and body with as much reverence and worship as you would entering the doors of a sacred temple. Empower yourself through your own research. Respond to others with actual knowledge and scientific studies. The good news is that we absolutely can reverse and heal this epidemic of dysfunctions and diseases without spending billions of dollars, suffering from the debilitating side effects of pharmaceutical drugs, and risking our lives with dangerous surgeries. In fact, we do not need to spend a single penny to completely reverse this plague of diseases scouring our lands and ravaging our friends, families, and communities. We can exit this failed modern health epidemic, experiment, and catastrophe through the same way we came in. Just as the overconsumption of toxic and poisonous food has led to our current state of disease and suffering, the conscious and intelligent consumption of healthy, nutrient-dense, plant-sourced foods, water fasting, intermittently and longer term, as well as a robust physical fitness protocol, holds the key to unlocking the prison doors we have locked ourselves in. When we face our fears head on, with unbreakable courage. Remove the blocks, myths, and misconceptions with the light of science, and forge ahead with discipline, determination, and sacrifice towards our sole goal. We will find that dysfunction and disease can be removed as easily as taking off the cumbersome, burdensome, and suppressing weight of the armor we have donned and clad ourselves with all these years and decades of our lives. Simply cast the armor aside and march right back out the same pathway which led you here. There is no need to carry extra burdens. Master the lightness, flow, and movement of your own body weight through fasting, an intelligent plant source diet, calisthenics, core work, aerobics, weight resistance, and fitness. This is the path to true satisfaction, true nourishment, true health, true joy, and true freedom. This is the real solution to reversing and healing dysfunction and disease at its very core and essence. We simply reverse course and walk right through the very heart, face the very cause, and address the very source of the dysfunction and disease. Please watch my videos on the power of water fasting and sexercise for more information on the science of water fasting as well as exercise. We can achieve much better results and burn more calories by narrowing our feeding window of nutritious foods to lunch and dinner. Breakfast literally means the meal which breaks a fast and can be eaten anytime we choose to break our fast. During sleep, our body is already fasting. When we awaken from our fast each morning, we are given a golden opportunity to build on 8 full hours of fasting. We are going to use this time to extend our fast during waking hours. This will give our body the extended rest it needs to fully eliminate all we have eaten the previous day and enter the coveted fat-burning stage of ketosis, which takes place after 12 hours of fasting. Intermittent fasting, or IF, regenerates our body on a cellular level and molds it into the shape we have always wanted. I have practiced the IF program every day for the past 3 years. I believe it is nearly impossible to remove surface and visceral fat and keep that fat off without practicing IF daily. I have never felt a lightness of body and energy levels like this since I was in my 20s. It feels so cleansing, physically, mentally, and spiritually, to only drink pure water all morning long. You may think this would cause a weakness in your physical and mental energy levels during the daily fasting periods. Actually, the peak of physical and mental clarity is experienced during the fasting windows. This is the youthful, vibrant energy I want you to reclaim. Allow your digestive system time to recover, your heart to open, your blood to flow unencumbered, and the chi energy to move effortlessly throughout your channels. Visceral fat refers to the fat which is underneath our muscles and wraps in and around our organs. It is an especially dangerous form of fat because visceral fat is the precursor to cardiovascular, autoimmune, and neurodegenerative diseases. Intermittent fasting is the only way to remove visceral fat since liposculpture cannot remove it. Additionally, IF is the only way to break the glucose metabolic cycle we are perpetually trapped in when we eat 3 to 6 meals and snacks per day over a 12-hour period. Perpetual glucose metabolism leads to insulin resistance over time. 88% of Americans currently have insulin resistance, which is the precursor to diabetes. It is not hard to see the pathway which leads to dysfunction and disease. Simply follow the trail of crumbs from our unhealthy eating behaviors. I believe intermittent fasting is the most effective, non-invasive tool for removing and keeping off visceral and surface fat, creating the body of our dreams, and maintaining optimal health. Intermittent fasting allows our digestive system adequate time to rest and for our body to repair. Our body enters ketosis after 12 hours of fasting. Ketosis is a phase where our body burns fat as ketones for our fuel source, instead of normal glucose metabolism. Every day, I push myself beyond 18 hours to the coveted stage where our cells remove damaged cellular components linked with diseases. This natural cleansing process is called autophagy. Studies show how many diseases increase in frequency as we age due to decreased autophagy. Regularly practicing autophagy through IF is a powerful anti-aging practice. When I break my fast each day, I feed my body deeply nourishing nutrients, antioxidants, adaptogens, and superfoods. I take advantage of the receptive state my body is in after fasting for 18 to 19 hours by breaking my fast with the building blocks and healing supplements my body is truly craving. I highly recommend for you to practice the lost art of challenging yourself. It is actually healthier for you to challenge yourself. Your body and brain are meant to be challenged. Watch the fat melt away each day you practice IF. It is a beautiful sight and feeling. Over time, you will actually feel better practicing IF rather than exhausting your digestive capacity and energy with 3 to 6 meals and snacks per day of animal-based, refined, and processed foods. Our brains are incredibly malleable, flexible, and adaptable. Experience the wonders of our plastic brain and resilient body. Allow the natural inherent intelligence, which resides within every cell of our body, to fully express itself in the space of true freedom. This will bring us closer to our soul essence and to God. This allows the healing energy, which flows from God and through all of our cells, to do its light work. I highly recommend for you to practice IF with the 18-6 or 19-5 schedule every day. This refers to 18 to 19 hours of fasting and a 5 to 6 hour feeding window. You will need to use your mind to train your body and brain what you want it to do. With all dopamine addictions, such as semen release to pornography, alcohol, drugs, and food, your body and brain will do everything it can to trick you at first. The first days and weeks, and even months, require intense focus and discipline as your body and brain tries to test your resolve. The stronger and longer the habituation and addiction, the stronger and longer it will fight you on it. Your mind and soul are the masters of your body and brain. Through unbending discipline and consistency over time, day after day, week after week, and month after month, your brain and body will eventually learn that it is just not ever going to get that addictive neural pathway met again. At that moment, your brain and body will go from your adversary to your ally, stepping fully in line with your soul goal. I want you to have this same level of resolve, so deep and determined that you teach your brain and body what you want it to transform into. It better get on board, or there will be hell to pay. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to catch the next video.